we got to the Canadian border, we were stopped. But it turns out that I was the only one who was vaccinated. So they got turned around. That was devastating. I had to do this entire 3-day event by myself.
Thank you all for having me. Lumen Energy is an energy as a service platform with a focus on smart energy technology.
Good morning, everyone. I thought I would try something new today. So I'm going to do a little bit of a video blog series just chronicling my experience here at CollisionCon. For those who don't know me, I am the CEO and co-founder of Lumen Energy, and we're an energy as a service platform which architects virtual power plants. To be honest with you, this is my first very large tech conference that we are actually featured in, and this is a brand new experience. So the best thing that I can do for you guys is to detail what you're going to experience as the festivities go on, and also if there's any value add. So if you'll stay with me, I'll walk you through. I hope you get something out of this. When an event is labeled as the air quotes Olympics of Tech, you should expect nothing less. The first thing you'll need to do to make sense of this mega event is to download the Collision app. Yep, that's right, they have their own app with 5 key areas of functionality. It would be an absolute fool's mistake to not take advantage of the build your own schedule feature. I mean, unless you enjoy walking aimlessly through an endless sea of people and technology. When you arrive at the Beanfield Center in Toronto, you'll go through a security checkpoint, after which you'll be directed by a team of personnel to the registration area, which is where you'll pick up your badge and any other necessary credentials. And it's incredible attendance rate. There's so many people here. There's so many things to do. I believe that there's people here from around 140 countries. It's incredibly loud, so if you can't hear me, I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to do my best to try to find a quiet place so we can talk. There are a number of lounge areas for select attendees. Since I was a part of the Alpha startup, I spent some time in the startup lounge, which had an assortment of beverages, snacks, and of course hundreds of your fellow startup peers and investors. Upon entering the main atrium, you'll be greeted by kiosks, startup booths, and activation stations as far as the eye can see. This conference is absolutely massive. There's supposed to be 35 to 40,000 people in attendance right now. I'm an introvert, so it's a little bit difficult for me to process this all. And I can be honest, my social battery is not where it should be, but I'm going to do the best that I can. There was also a 3-day-long pitch competition. The eventual winner was chosen by event goers, very similar to American Idol. I was still unclear of what the grand prize was, but assumedly just having that much exposure was probably enough by itself. Outside, there was a mob of food trucks with street food and some delicacies that took up several city blocks. Hey, so I just wanted to give a quick update. Right now it's about halfway through the day, and it has been an absolute madhouse. There are tens of thousands of people here, and they're from all over the world, something like 140 countries. There have been a number of events, like the pitch event, mentor hours. I've personally had several venture capitalist meetings. I mean, it's just insane. And unfortunately, the rest of my team couldn't be here. So I am going to run solo and make the most out of this, but obviously I cannot cover all ground. But it's okay. I mean, it's really exciting. It's very inviting and welcoming. All right, I'll keep you guys posted on what happens next. Back inside, there were 3 major stages where speakers came to discuss all sorts of topics, ranging from sustainability to the latest greatest tech thingamabob out there in the wild. An entire section was also roped off called the Investor to Startup area, where a 15-minute speed dating-esque milieu took place. I personally took part in 5 separate meetings. When it was my time to speak, I unfortunately couldn't get any solid footage, but I did have one of the security guys snap a shot. Alright guys, so it's the end of the day, and I just finished up with my last meeting. I'm going to give you a quick blow-by-blow of what happened. So number one, you start off in the registration area, and depending on whatever your sponsorship level is or your level, you could go from being just a regular event goer or attendee as they call them. There's the alpha package, which is what we were for early stage startups. There's also betas, and then there's growth for companies that are making somewhere like $10 million in revenue a year or something like that. You can partake in various activities. There's all kinds of activation stations. There's workshops. There was a pitch competition today. There was an impact startup stage where I got a chance to speak about Lumina Energy. And honestly, it was a little bit overwhelming just because I am very introverted, and dealing with this many people at one time is it's not really for me. But I did get a chance to meet some valuable contacts, and I know that this is only the beginning. This thing goes until the 23rd, and today is only the 21st. So there's 2 more full days. Of course, the food stands were fantastic. I had a little bit of poutine earlier. If you don't know what it is, poutine is basically the only native dish of Canada that I'm aware of, which is French fries and cheese and gravy. It's delicious. All right, guys, so that's it. I will talk to you tomorrow. What's going on, everybody? It is now officially day 2 of the festivities. Lumina Energy has a booth today, so very exciting. We're looking forward to sharing all sorts of clean tech information, making some awesome connections, and also just having a little bit of fun and seeing all the other events and fellow event goers. If you guys are in Toronto during this time, I urge you to visit our booth at A2821. It's inside of the Intercare Center. If you aren't going to be here, I look forward to seeing you in person and would love to have a conversation with anyone who's interested in learning more about Lumina Energy technology. So I wish you a fantastic rest of the day. It's beautiful here in Toronto, and I'll probably grab some dinner after. So anybody's free, just let me know. All right, take care. Hello everyone, good afternoon. This is David Jones reporting live from Collision. As you can see, I'm at my booth. This is the Lumina Energy booth. We are an alpha featured startup. If you are in the Toronto area, I encourage you to come check us out. Hope you guys are doing well. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on social media. Alrighty. Hey guys, it's the tail end of day 2. I'm tired, a little burnt out. Talked to probably several hundred people. It's been really productive, and I'm grateful that this happened. There was so much excitement, so many positive connections that were made. I'm really grateful for it. So we have the final leg tomorrow. I'll keep you guys posted.
Later that night, Lumina Energy was invited to pitch at an off-site competition at a ritzy art gallery. The format for Drinks and Dragons was very similar to the British TV show Dragon's Den, or the American equivalent Shark Tank. It was a great networking event full of fellow event attendees, presenters, and investors. There was also a DJ, live music, free cocktails, and of course, an NFT auction. When it was my time to go up and present, I got yelled at by the judges because I read off my phone. But there was one takeaway that I shared later which won them over. When I explained about the debacle at the Canadian border that occurred, doing the entire event solo and all while running on 4 hours of sleep roughly, the pitch and my sob story proved to be compelling enough to beat out the competition. Of the many startups that pitched, 5 finalists were ultimately chosen, with Lumina Energy winning on the basis of most impactful technology and story. Before I wrap this up, I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my buddy Matt, who lives in Toronto, and came through in the clutch. Without even a moment's hesitation, he came down to help me man the fort at the booth, and then also joined me later for the pitch competition. So kudos to you, Matt. I really appreciate you, man. You have a special place in my heart.
Hey, what's going on, guys? All right, so this is the final day, day 3, and it has come to a close.
I am on very low battery right now, physically, not technology-wise, but all in all, this was an amazing event. This entire experience was something that I really needed in my life. I think we as people, we only tend to highlight the good that happens to us. And unfortunately, it leaves out some of the more visceral components of life that other people may need to hear. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story that helped me kind of push through all of this. So as we were coming over, and when I say we, I mean a large chunk of my team. So my co-founder, the chief financial officer of the company, and also one of my best friends who is part of the film crew, J-Man Studios, my buddy Desmond. We got to the Canadian border. We actually took a road trip just to be nostalgic. And when we got to the Canadian border, we were stopped. And we were, of course, carded and made sure that all of our credentials were correct. But it turns out that I was the only one who was vaccinated. So they got turned around. That was devastating. But I think the lesson here is that no matter what happens in life, we have to persevere. When the universe or God or whatever you want to think of, that divine architect, when they put something in your heart, you have to go after it. And you have to realize that this is not going to be a simple journey. So anyway, I had to do this entire 3-day event by myself. That wasn't easy, especially having to set up the booth, having to talk to a godly amount of people. I'm not much of a talker, and although it may not look that way with these blogs, but I am very introverted, and I like to keep to myself. But yeah, we pushed through, or I pushed through rather. For those who don't know, CollisionCon is basically the Olympics of the tech world, and we came and showed the world our technology that we've been working on for the last couple of years, and we were received very warmly. I personally met close to 200 people, or it could have been even more, but I didn't get a single negative response. It went really well. Then lastly, yesterday we were also accepted into the, I think it was called Drink and Dragons pitch competition. We took the top spot. I took the top spot. So I want to congratulate all of the other contestants, and thank you very much for receiving me and this vision. I'm truly grateful. At the end of all of this, I truly feel as though I've been uplifted. Everything that I dreamt about is beginning to manifest. All of these visions I had, like daydreaming and just sitting in quiet solitude, have manifested into something that's very real, that is beginning to change the lives of many people. And that's the best that I can possibly hope for, is to just be validated by my peers and make something that changes the lives of everyone around us for the foreseeable future. So I really hope that what I'm saying to you is uplifting. I hope that it's motivational, and I thoroughly encourage you, if you have a dream, just go after it. It doesn't matter what people think about you. It doesn't matter what they have to say. I mean, most of these people are unhappy in their lives anyway, and even if they're not on the same path as you. So yeah, take what I'm saying with great urgency. If you're not in a place where you don't feel content, change, move. You're not a rock. All right, so I got a long drive ahead of me. I'm actually driving back to Chicago like right now, and it's about an 8-hour drive. So wish me luck, and I'll see you at the top.